On the show, we drive the recently launched BMW 1 Series. In Face to Face, we meet two young entrepreneurs who will rent you a Superbike. On the track, we spend some time with budding race car drivers. And on the road with Fiat, we drive to Lansdowne.
Many of us would like to buy a hatchback to save on the cost, and many manufacturers would like to sell us one, as this is the meat of the Indian car market. About 70% of the car sales come from the compact car segment. But things here get a bit different when a premium car manufacturer like BMW tries to sell you one. Sure, they got the proportions of the hatch right, but that's where the buck stops. This is no econo commuter. It's a full-blown luxury car in compact size, and it can be compared to any luxury sedan. And so is the price tag of around rupees 23 lakhs. This is not meant for bargain hunters. So what does a customer get? A fine-sized luxury car. Ladies and gentlemen, the BMW 1 Series. This is the latest from BMW, the 1 Series. And when I say latest, I mean only for India, because the 1 Series has been around for quite a while now. And BMW has launched it here to maximize its sales. Obviously, with a logo like this, things can't be cheap. But at first glance, this really looks like a car which is well made. So let's check it out.
BMW 1 Series, which is recently launched in India, is the second generation 1 Series. And at 4.3 meters length, it is actually 85 millimeters longer than the old one, and also wider by 17 millimeters. The longer length means a longer wheelbase, which in turn means more space both for passengers as well as the luggage. The cabin is big enough for 5 adults with enough leg and headroom. And if you pop open the hatch, you will realize that this is no dinky hatchback. It can take in all of 360 liters of luggage. And the seats come with a 60-40 split folding rear seat option. And if you fold the seats down, it can take in around 1200 liters of luggage.
This car is certainly not meant for all those people who are looking for a cramped hatchback or have penny pinching on their minds. And this is evident from the moment you step into the car. Spacious interiors with a touch of leather, wood veneer, all feature comforts at your disposal. The intention here is very clear. It's to indulge in pamper rather than to save you a few bucks. And if you know the proportions, you can also presume that you're in the interiors of a 3 Series.
The iDrive displays through the multimedia screen in the center, which has numerous displays for all the functions that BMW has put in the car. It is possible to change drive options, settings, etc. and call for information which is readily available. If you are familiar with BMW, then it will come as no surprise for you. The car comes with individual climate control, a sound system which has USB and Bluetooth, with a multifunction steering column which can be adjusted for both height and reach. The seats can be electrically adjusted for both height and lumbar support.
The proof of the pudding is in eating, they say. And I say the proof of a good car is in how she drives. So now I'm going to fire the engine and see what she's really made of. This is a diesel unit. Not a small one either, a 2-liter diesel. And as I fire her, I was expecting to hear some diesel chatter inside the cabin, but this is really, really quiet. Let me roll down the window and find out. She's not really that quiet. Now I can hear the engine. It's actually the dampening. I think BMW has done a brilliant job of the dampening. You don't hear anything inside the cabin really.
This BMW 1 Series 118D is powered by a 2-liter diesel, which churns out 143 bhp speed power and 320 Newton meters of torque. The lighter body weight also means she is quite quick and agile. The 0 to 100 comes up in 8.6 seconds, which is quite good for a car in this class.
The suspension is sprung quite tight, and this gives the car very nice cornering abilities. But at the same time, on the pothole roads, you feel the bumps coming in and at times get a bit rattled. There is an option of 16 and 17-inch wheels the company is offering on different variants. And this variant is riding on 17-inch wheels. But I would prefer a 16-inch wheel as this will absorb the bumps even better. In my opinion, the suspension is strung a trifle too hard. Makes it a good driver's car, but at the same time it makes the ride a little bit choppy.
This 1 Series scores quite well in terms of occupant safety. Not only it comes with active safety features like traction control and ABS, but also the standard passive safety package includes driver and passenger airbags.
This 1 Series, like most other BMW cars, is a driver's car. 143 horses under the bonnet, Sport Plus mode on the transmission, 17-inch low-profile tires, and a stiff suspension. All this makes for good fun. So does the goodies inside the cabin. In fact, all the options make it quite comparable to a bigger-sized BMW. The question now is, who will buy this car? In my opinion, the only reason why anyone will buy this car is not because they want a hatch, but because they want a BMW. And this happens to be the cheapest one.
Cars on rent, luxury cars on rent, premium self-drive cars available for rent. You know, all this is fine, but on a glorious day like today, I don't want a car. I'm looking for one of those kick-ass high-end bikes that I could just take out for maybe a day or so, enjoy the fine weather, and isn't there's something lacking here? Isn't there somebody who can fulfill my dream just for today? You hear that? I think that's just what I've been looking for. Well, now that I've managed to find the place, let's find the people behind this place. Hey, Vipin, good to see you. Hey, okay. So, tell me about this place now. What's Bolt all about?
The Bolt is all about the dreams on rent. Why is dreams on rent? Because these all are a dream bike. This is not an ordinary bike. We have like American bikes, we have Japanese bike, we have Italian bikes. Lot of bikes, we have varieties like cruisers, sports, naked bikes. We give bikes in a shift, like 5-hour shifts, 1 day, night package, 7 days, 10 days. It depends. The cost matters. If a person hire a bike from us for 3 days, 3 nights, cost of course less. If a person wants to buy a bike for 5 hours, the cost little bit higher than the package, And of course, the discount is also available. First come, first serve.
Yeah, this is all very great. You have a nice selection of bikes. I can see the Priya, the Harley, the Suzuki Intruder, the Bossa, and I'm sure you have some bikes that have gone out also. But if I were to have my picks from these, I think I'll take this big fat Harley. Can I have the keys?
Definitely, surely you have the keys. But for the bikes, we have certain formalities which you have to do.
very easy MOU is there, which we will sign in between you and the Bolt company. And after that, we have very nominal security, which you have to pay. And after that, we will give you a training session, which would be make you friendly with the bike. Because we want a rider to be very safe. That is the motive of the Bolt Superbike. Whenever the person comes, we will just check out the profile also. There is a verification. The guy will come to your house. He will check out the all. He will do the all formalities there only. So that we will come to know the profile of the person who the rider is coming to us.
How much would I have to shell out minimum? Say if you really like me. How much? How much?
Free? Yeah, right. First off, you will need to put down a security deposit of rupees 2 lakhs and then choose the duration of your rental period. For example, a 5-hour rental will cost you rupees 8,000, 24 hours of rental for rupees 12,000, or you could opt for a 3-night, 3-day package for rupees 30,000. Now this price is flat whether you choose a naked sports bike, a superbike, or even a cruiser. You will also need to enter into an MOU with the company which basically states that you will be responsible for any kind of damage to the bike or yourself. Happy riding! We're here at the Buddha International Racing Circuit in Greater Noida on the outskirts of New Delhi to witness a new initiative by Mercedes-Benz. 12 young amateur drivers, one 557 horsepower Mercedes-AMG with one simple objective: drive like hell and set the fastest lap time possible on this Formula 1 racing track. At the beginning of the year, Mercedes-Benz threw open the gates to the Youngstar driver program. Applications were invited from aspiring racing drivers aged between 15 to 25 years for a chance to win an internship with the Mercedes-AMG Petronas team for the Indian Grand Prix weekend. Not only that, the winner will also undergo the basic and advanced course with the AMG Driving Academy, followed by a professional level training course in Germany. Now, if that isn't a good enough reason to go fast, I don't know what is. We have with us Mr. Eberhard Kern, MD and CEO of Mercedes-Benz, to tell us a little bit more about this Youngstar driver program.
Mercedes-Benz has a very long heritage in motorsport. Since exactly 1894 we do racing. So we decided in the beginning of the year to create the Mercedes-Benz Youngstar driver program here in India. And what is it all about? It's about young race drivers coming from India. And Mercedes-Benz wanted to connect with the young Indians and wanted to show the way into motorsport.
Nearly 3,200 applicants from across 48 Indian cities and towns applied for a chance to be picked by the FMSCI into the final dozen, the creme de la creme of the crop. Now all they had to do was don their racing helmets, jump into the 557 horsepower E63 AMG Mercedes and drive like there's no tomorrow. People who actually qualified for this, now they've never really driven a Mercedes-Benz before, or have they?
No, I spoke to all the 12 who made it to the final, and none of them was driving a Mercedes-Benz AMG so far. So it was a very first experience. At least the talent is there, and now the winners have the chance to get more into this international racing. So let's see how it at the end plays out. But for sure, it's a great starting point for all these very talented and young Indians doing motorsports here.
So this is a talent scout program then, is it? The stage was set and the drivers were briefed about the rules and then made to face the beast that they were to tame. Suit up, helmet on, and at the drop of the flag, the drivers each took their turn behind the wheel to set the fastest lap time possible. Heat 1 saw 6 of the slowest drivers out of the initial dozen being knocked out of the competition. The remaining 6 drivers, which included a few girls as well, now had to have another go in the AMG Mercedes and try and stamp their authority over the competition. The drivers set some pretty competitive and close lap times, and the difference between the winner and the first runner-up was just 0.012 of a second. In third place, it was Mizan Anis from Bengaluru. In second, Diljit CS from Thrissur. And the winner of the Youngstar driver program was Niranjan Tolkar from Aurangabad.
I'm on my way out of Delhi this morning to one of the quietest hill stations in Padi Gharwal, Landsdowne. The Gharwal hills should be at their best, with the monsoons almost over, and with Dussehra around the corner, I've just about missed the hustle and bustle of the city traffic. Should take me about 6 hours to reach. I'm looking forward to my drive. My trusted companion, the 2013 Fiat Linea. She's powered by a 1.3-litre multi-jet turbo diesel unit, which hence has a maximum output of 93 PS. Now, the interior of the Linea is really nice because it has everything that you're looking for, and what really stands out is the spaciousness. There's lots of room, and that feels really good when you're on one of these really long drives. Lansdowne is about 250 kilometers from Delhi. On our way, we pass through the town of Meerut and Bijnor, where we take a turn for Kotdwar and then drive on towards Lansdowne. Sometimes it's good to just take a break, get out of the car and enjoy the view. I'm almost in Kotdwar, which is about 1 hour away from Lansdowne. Lansdowne is only approachable by road, hence the last railhead is the town of Kotdwar. Originally known as Kalu Danda in the local language, Lansdowne was founded and named after the then Viceroy of India, Lord Lansdowne, in 1887. Lansdowne is unlike other hill stations as it is well connected through motorable roads, but is still fairly remote. It is situated at an altitude of 1700 meters above sea level in the Padi Gharwal district of Uttarakhand. Lansdowne is absolutely lovely. I've been to many hill stations before, but this one is a bit different. Surrounded by thick oak and blue pine forest, I feel completely refreshed even after a 6-hour drive. I can't wait to start exploring. Lansdowne was developed by the British for the catering of the Recruit Training Centre for the Garhwal Rifles, which back then was a major place for the activities of the freedom fighters of the British Garhwal. Nowadays, the famous Garhwal Rifles of the Indian Army has its command office here. Even to this day, it serves as a recruiting centre that explains the presence of so many strapping lads from the area, the hopefuls to the Indian Army. The Garhwal Rifles Regimental War Memorial set at Lansdowne was unveiled on November the 11th, 1923 by Lord Rawlinson, who was the then Commander-in-Chief of India. Situated at the parade ground, visitors and enthusiasts from all over the country who love to know more about the nation's army make sure Lansdowne is a must-visit. Constructed in 1896 by Colonel Hume of the Royal Engineers during the British rule in India, St. Mary's Church is truly a charming historic structure. Restored by the Garhwal Rifles, the church was converted into a museum where memoirs of the pre-independence era are now displayed. Now this is the kind of view from your room that makes it all worth it. Accommodation is plenty in Lansdowne, but if you want to enjoy a view like this, plan to book a little bit in advance. You'd be surprised, even during the off-season, the hotels are pretty packed. Famed for some of the most incredible views of the Himalayan mountain range stretching from Himachal Pradesh to Nepal, Tip Top is the perfect place to spend an entire day when you're in Lansdowne. Bhulla in the local language means younger brother. Hence, Bhullata Lake derives its name from the youth of the Garhwal Rifle Regiment, who were the main force behind the construction of this man-made lake. Younger brothers of the regiment worked hard to build a lake for their leisure, where today tourists can enjoy a bit of boating. Lansdowne is truly one of a kind. Here, we're not only spoiled with an abundance of nature, great weather, and stunning scenery, but since it's also the base of the Garhwal Rifles, there's a lot to look forward to at this destination. And of course, I had a great time exploring Lansdowne with my Linea. Just add it to all of the fun. See you next time.